Hello, folks. Getting ready to start it up. You betcha. Uh-oh. There's the dogs. Take it easy, dogs. They get all excited whenever I do a 3-on-3 live stream. All right, folks. Let's dig into it, shall we? 3 at 3 with Dr. J. That's me. I was able to be on with Dom Chu and the crew from halftime today. We were able to do that on Skype. So again, transmission and the other good folks at CNBC that made that happen, fantastic. Well done, my friends. You guys did a great job. Putting 5 people on Skype. Take it easy. My dogs are getting all hyped up here. Sorry about that. That's one of the things from working at home that I don't have to deal with when I'm not at home. Here's the disclaimer. You guys may have your ears injured by dogs barking. Other than that, this is for educational and informational purposes only. So please don't view this as investment advice. With that said, I'm going to start right in. All right. So Microsoft, you heard me talk about this one this morning on the halftime report, my morning, in some parts of the country, your afternoon, because it's 12 p.m. Eastern time until 1. Microsoft, early on, these times are all going to be in Eastern time zone, folks. So just basically 28 minutes into the trading day, with Microsoft moving higher again. You might remember I was talking about this one last week as well. Somebody stepped in and bought 7,000 of the 3rd of April 160 calls. That's the 3rd of April expiration, which is, of course, this Friday. They bought these calls for $1.65. They paid all the way up to $3.30. You see it there on your screen. So, with something like that going on, what exactly does that look like in Microsoft? Well, let's look at the stock. It kept moving up. This is a 5-day chart. I am delighted to say that I was able to add to Microsoft at lower prices. I've said that repeatedly over the past 10 days whenever I've been able to buy it on the dip. And here it is, basically pushed all the way up to 160 today, pulled back to about 159. And if you look at the left side of your screen, folks, those are the 160 calls from the heat seeker right from early this morning. So the left side of the screen again, those are the 160 calls at 9:30 in the morning. Again, I'm emphasizing this is Eastern time. So in other words, at the opening, 1 second into the opening, a one lot trades at 133. And then as you see, seconds later, others start trading. We don't really care about those folks. We are focused on the big trades, not the little trades. So I care about what you do. If you're a trader who only trades one lots, that's fine. I'm not being critical. I'm just saying the people that Pete and I follow are the people that are trading big contract volume, the people that are buying 100, 200, 500, or 1,000 calls at a time. But this tip-off, again, you saw from the previous slide, they were buying the April 160s, again, weekly 160 calls, for $1.65. Take a look here. There was plenty of time. People were buying them from 165, and they kept buying them all the way up to 330. Well, from this slide, you can see that they traded all the way up to $4.45, I believe was the high of the day. So that's why I used this one when CNBC asked me to do unusual activity, or hashtag UOA, on the halftime report. This is what I did. One of the 2 stocks was Microsoft at the 160 strike. So when you look at it, take a look at the arrow. I've kind of inserted an arrow here on the left side of the screen. And as you see, expiration is the 3rd of April. There's also, of course, next week's expiration, which would be the 9th. and then regular April expiration, and then the 24th. So you get the idea. I could click on any of these and trade them directly from the screen. Microsoft had traded 38 million shares as of, I guess maybe 20, 30 minutes ago when I put these slides together. And as you saw, the calls were topping out at 19,000 on the volume, almost 20,000, not 7,000, 19,000, so nearly triple, and that's a half hour ago, what we'd seen at the 160 strike. They were trading for $4.26 at that time. And if you look just to the left of this arrow, you see that the highlighted in blue, the open interest was 5,072. So we knew that these were opening new contracts, my friends, and that means a lot to me because I want to see opening new contracts, somebody that's smart, putting on a leveraged bet. Keep in mind that every one of those 20,000 plus contracts that traded at the 160 strike is the right to buy 100 shares of Microsoft. So again, if you're talking about 20,000 contracts, let's say that the average price that people paid was around $2.20. So $2.20, since every option is for 100 shares, that is $220 times 20,000 contracts means that somebody has put down $4.4 million betting that Microsoft goes higher. That's why we follow those kinds of bets. That's what our algorithm is showing us. Exactly that. And that's what we care about. So, second trade that I did on the halftime report was Pinterest, P-I-N-S. So Pinterest, this one had moved up. It was $14.95 when I saw the unusual activity building in here this morning at the August 16 strike. You see now that it's moved up by almost 30 full cents to $15.23 right now. And these calls have moved up slightly, not huge, slightly, but I love the fact that they're buying an out-of-the-money call. They're not buying short-term like Microsoft. They're buying August. So again, since we're about to start April, May, June, July, August, 5 months into the future, they're buying these calls. So all that information is contained in every option contract. Strike price, out of the money. Expiration, 5 months into the future. Premium, how much did they pay? $2.64. So I like getting all of that activity and being able to see that. You guys see the graph here. It moved up from basically just after the opening. It was under 1440. It was right around 1438 and just steadily moved up throughout the day. We've already had some nice profits on my stock scalps in Pinterest, and it has moved up and as of moments ago was up about 2% as it pushes towards 1530 again into the bell. All right. That said, by the way, folks, into the bell, S&Ps are up 77 points. I've got the Dow Jones up 625, the NASDAQ up 246. You want to be sure to join me and my brother Pete in an hour when we start breaking down volatility and some of the best opportunities we're seeing in the market right now, because I think you'll really enjoy that. That's a free one, but you have to register. You'll see the, I'll tweet out the link shortly, but you want to definitely make sure that you avail yourself of that, because that's pretty cool stuff when you can follow right along with us just after the bell. Next one, let me show you what they were doing on tomorrow expiration, because certain ETFs, certain stocks have expirations that are weeklies. You guys already know that. The regular expirations are expirations that are every third Friday of the month. Then some of the more actives are lucky enough to get weekly expirations. And then some get what this one has, and that is expirations at the end of the quarter as well. So these are the SPY, that ETF, which is the S&P 500 E-mini. This is the end of the quarter expiration. It expires tomorrow. As you can see, it says SPY 31 March. So these are the 260 calls. As you see, this one was trading for $2.10 early this morning, and then just kept moving up. That was with the indice, with the SPY at 253.53. I'm just looking at the top line to get that, folks. As you see, it moves up to 254, and those options move up to 219 and then 220 at the bottom of the screen. Where are they now? Let's see. With the index, just 8 minutes before I started broadcasting, with the index moving towards 261, the March 260 calls had moved up to 422. Now, they'd been higher than that. They'd been 428, 430, but $4.22, you get the idea. That's a nice trade to jump in at, again, 210, all the way up, maybe 220, 240, whatever, and then have it go to $4.30, $4.22 with us right up here at 261. That's a nice trade. Another bit of unusual activity that I just wanted you guys to check out and say, hey, keep your eye on them. I'm in these, I'm scalping them, which means when I say scalping, folks, I mean scalping. It means I'm jumping in, jumping out, jumping in, jumping out. So that's how I like to keep my vol or volatility exposure to a minimum, because anything I hold overnight, I'm going to spread against it. I'm going to sell upside calls against these 260s for anything that looks like I should hold overnight. So with that said, I want to just thank you guys for joining me today. Encourage you to continue to check out our streams. And remember, you can join us just under an hour from now. Let's call it 45 minutes from right now. You can join me. And until then, I wish you adios. Keep flattening that curve and join us in about 45 minutes. Thank you, my friends. Have a great afternoon.